What's going on, y'all? Listen, first of all, forgive me for the past three videos. This video, last video, and the video before that. I am recording holding the camera because, baby, my back hurt. My lower back hurt. And I don't know if it's because of sciatic pain or something else. I do have, y'all, I just went to the doctor to get a cyst removed from my goddamn ankle, and I have one that's back there, that comes like, sometimes during my cycle. My cycle just went off a couple of days ago. So I don't know if that's what's making my back hurt. Mind you, it hasn't popped up. And I'm sorry if this too much information, but I'm just trying to explain. I don't know if it don't pop up all the time, but it popped up every so often, and it just popped up out of the blue. So I don't know if that's why my back hurt, but I'm leaning over a little bit, and this position is helping with the pain for right now. Okay, so it's comfortable right now. So if I sit up straight, it hurts. So that's why I don't have my stand up with the thing, and that's why I'm holding it. So just in case if y'all have an issue with me, because some people just want to make an issue about any and everything. But hey, as long as you can hear me and see me, it's good. I try my best for what I can do. But this is American Horror Stories. Now, honestly, I'm gonna be real with y'all. I wasn't even thinking about reviewing this season 2. If you have not watched it before you get into the review, or if you just want to go ahead and watch the review before you watch it, it's on Hulu. It's the same thing. It's season 2 to the American Horror Stories that's on Hulu. That's streaming strictly on Hulu. You know what I'm saying? The first season was okay. It had a couple of episodes that I actually did like, but it wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, but it was good enough for me to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But it just had some episodes that I didn't really like. Well, I ain't gonna say I didn't like. I just, could didn't care neither way for it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was just like, I don't know if I was gonna review it, but I saw the preview for the season, and it looked like it probably would be a little bit better. And honestly, American Horror Story, that last season that came on TV, a disappointment, a pure disappointment. It really was. It really was a disappointment. The first half was cute. The first half was cute with the zombie town and all that stuff or whatever. That was good. I was the vampire people and all that shit. I was okay with that. But that alien shit and the way that they did it, going back into it just didn't work for me. So I was just like kind of disappointed in that whole thing. And I've never really been disappointed in American Horror Stories. Even if it wasn't the best season, I still found something that I loved about it, and I go back and watch it. But that season, I don't have any intentions on going back to watch it. But we are back again for American Horror Story season 2. I watched the first episode that came out today. And it is called Dollhouse, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, Dollhouse. So we get into the episode, and it's a character, this guy. I can't remember his name, but whatever. Let me look it up, because I feel like I should know this. It's 7 o'clock. Damn, bitch. I didn't know it was this late. Oh, wow. What have... And I was up all day. What the hell? Let me get the character's name. American Horror Story. American Horror Story Season 2. Episode 1. Dollhouse. More information about this episode. Okay. So you got this guy who is he's a toy maker. I don't know if they actually said his name, but we do know that he has a son who is named Spalding. That's what he's gonna go by, Spalding. But we find out that it starts out in Mississippi, okay? In Mississippi, 1961. And I apologize for all of that interruption. I got to be better prepared. 1961 Mississippi. I said, down south, what are we about to do? We see this white girl up in her car or whatever. I said, Miss Lady, what's going on? Because it's a whole bunch of men's that you coming up on. What's happening? What we doing? She said, girl, I'm finna go get an interview. Listen, times I'm trying to be my independent self. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no man, because that's how it was back in the day. You had to have a man and a husband and all that to take care of you and all this shit. But she said, listen, I'm on my independent shit, so I'm finna try to go out here and get a job, okay? So she talking to this guy who is a toy maker, and he's mostly dealing with dolls, right? He has a fascination with dolls. He's given this story and history of how all these dolls have been made, and even back in with the Egyptians, the pharaohs, some of them, they were being buried with them and everything. And I was like, okay. And let me just say this: dolls like this, they creep me out. Okay, and you want to know the main type of dolls that really creep me out? Them porcelain face dolls. Oh my god, like the Annabelle dolls and shit, and them other porcelain dolls, they always have creeped me the freak out. Okay, I just don't understand the fascination with them, and I'm pretty sure, especially the vintage ones, they probably cost a lot of money. But I just don't understand waking up. Can you imagine just waking up and seeing some stuff glistening, and that's a face looking at your ass, and it's just a porcelain doll, and your baby? Do you know how fucking spooked I'd be and scared I'd be in my own house? No, I just don't like that. I do not like that. Okay, so she sit up in there. He giving a little interview about it, giving a little brief history about the dolls and stuff. So we clearly tell that he loves it. And so she's giving her, all the while he's looking at her profile, or her resume or whatever. We find out that she's like the valedictorian of her high school, and or whatever school she went to. I don't know if it was college or if it was just high school, but she was the valedictorian. She has excellent grades and all of that stuff, and she's a high candidate, a really good candidate. She's a really, really good candidate for this position. And in the way that she was going off about how her marks are and her good standing and how much of a good person she is and her reputation and her resume and all this stuff or whatever, it made it seem as if she was coming for a high position like an executive or whatever. But then I had to remember, baby, this is 1961. Mama is trying to she trying to interview for a secretary job, okay? And she put up the good stuff. She seemed like the prime candidate that you would need for a secretary, all good standing and everything, good remarks and everything. And so I'm thinking she got the job, right? Next thing you know, he was like, no, it's cool. You gone. You got to get up out of here. You not qualified. I said, wait a minute, what? My assistants will see you out. So he over here looking out the window. She stand up like, wait a minute, what? This motherfucker came up behind her. Some other dude come up behind her and just strangling her or whatever. At least that's what I thought, that he killed her. I said, damn, so he just finna be out here killing people, already? That's what I thought was about to happen right off the bat. Next thing you know, we see that there's this dollhouse, and then we see her because she's in a yellow dress. And I said, what in the House of Wax is going on? Okay, because that's all that it was giving me, the House of Wax. Okay, and if you ain't never seen the original, go watch that and then go watch the remake. They're both okay. Well, I like the original better, but they both okay. Paris Hilton was up in that remake, and the way that Paris Hilton got killed in that, why they do that to that lady? But anyway, so she wake up and you thinking that this is just a big dollhouse, but come to find out it's a regular house that's made into a dollhouse. And she wakes up and I'm thinking that she's a doll, like, she just got transported to something else or whatever. No, she's still in her human form. This is still human. This is still reality. This is still the real world. It's just that he has his own world, his own fantasy that he built on his own property. You know what I'm saying? And she wakes up and it's some other women, or I should say other dolls that are there. The dolls are, what is it? You got this one doll. Her name is Arulia. She was in the black and white male maid costume. You got another one where she's in the blue maid costume, and then you have, like, I would say probably the biracial girl who's in another costume. It was three of them already, plus Kobe, that's her name, the main character. She's there. So she's trying to understand what's going on because these people that's around her, they're literally dolls. So I'm thinking like these real dolls, he didn't turn people into dolls and all this stuff or whatever because he comes in and he was like, you know what, you didn't qualify to be my secretary, but you qualified, you was overqualified. Okay. You good enough to be something else. You're gonna be here for the next 7 days or so. I said, or so. What type of job is this that, you only doing 7 days or so? That means give or take. You know what I'm saying? So I was just like, what is this? And he wouldn't let her out the house. He said, there is no way that you can get out the house. The only way you get out the house is if I let your ass out. And I'm just like, what is happening? So he leave with his dude, Eustace. He can't speak because his tongue basically is cut out his mouth, okay? And so he just basically his henchman, So she goes back to where the other dolls are who are literally just standing there like this in doll form. Come to find out they're regular people. They're regular women who just got caught up. One, she was picked up and she don't even know why. And I'm thinking it's the biracial one, okay? And then the one that I think the one that was in the blue maid costume, she said she came for an interview and he wound up taking her just the same way because they had the mask on or whatever, so they took it off or whatever. And the girl, Arula, Miss Girl in the black and white maid costume, all of a sudden, I just instantly could not stand her. We are in the same situation, and it is so crazy how people can be messed up in the same situation. We are trapped. And it's always that one person that's going to have a fucking bitchy attitude, that want to do the most, that want to be the best. And it's like, we all here. Why don't we all just work together and come together and try to figure out a way to get out together? So none of us have to suffer any type of consequence. Oh, but she's not that type of person, okay? She's all for self. I get it. At the same time, it's just kind of fucked up because y'all all in the same situation. So why not just come together? She feels some type of way about Miss Girl being there. And I feel as though she kind of already knew that dude took a liking to Kobe already. So, Miss Girl in the blue, she was trying to tell her how things go, and Kobe was looking out the window, and that's when she saw Dennis Spaulding. That's the little boy's name, okay? Dennis was in another building across the way, and he was looking out the window. Kind of found out this man is collecting people to be a mother to his son, okay, and to be the perfect doll. I said, what? The perfect doll? Oh my God, that's so fucking weird. I don't understand. I really don't understand the fascination with dolls. I don't understand the fascination with dolls, and you can never explain it to me. You can never explain it to me. But, there are certain times where he comes up and they got to do certain tasks, okay? The first task, and this is how people get eliminated. So it's almost like a competition that he's putting them through to see, who by the process of elimination is the best candidate to be around his son and to play mommy to the son. We find out that the mother, his actual wife and the mother of his son, she's dead. They said it was a boating accident, but what really happened is, this man that is supposed to be who he is, he's good at being a doll maker, but he wasn't good at being a husband or a lover because the wife was cheating on him because he fell a little bit short in that department. And he caught them. And next thing you know, he had Eustace taser them while they outside tied up naked. I said, wow, you ain't even let them put their clothes on. Taser them and throw them down the wishing well. I said, God damn, that's kind of fucked up. But on the one hand, I understand, okay? Because what you're not going to do, I'm not going to provide you this life and then you're going to cheat on me and then get caught, stupid enough to get caught, okay? And to be honest, I'd be concerned if that boy is really my son. Because how long has the wife been cheating? That's a question that needed to be answered because that's immediately what I thought about. Maybe that's why he killed her too. But, after that, it's time for the new task, okay? The first task that Kobe is going to go through. So she has to go ahead and, they have to dress up in different doll costumes. So she picks the clown costume, so when he introduces his son to all of them and to the new girl, Kobe, the new doll. He was just like, don't nobody give a fuck about no clown. Parents and adults think that kids like count clowns, and we don't fucking like clowns and all this shit or whatever. First of all, the little boy, I said, how old is he? Because he sounded like a grown ass man. He sounded like a grown ass man. I said, how long you been going through this, sir? You sure you ain't gone through puberty yet? He was smart with it and everything. I said, okay. But another thing with the clown shit, I don't like clowns. Like, I'm not scared of them, but they're creepy as hell to me. And I just don't understand the appeal of them. And how did they become, something in the culture, our culture, that it's a positive thing, it's a fun thing. Oh, let's get a clown for a birthday party. Let's get a clown for this. That is not fun to me. That is some creepy shit, especially the way some of them do their makeup. It's kind of creepy, But, so they going through all the tasks, and her whole thing, she had to impress him, and she wound up making a toy car move. And he said, "Wait a minute, bitch, because I don't do no magic. Okay, kids don't like magic either, because that's what she said. I can do a little magic trick." He said, "Bitch, I don't like no magic." And so she made the car move. He said, "No, hold on, do it again." Okay, do it again, because ain't nothing underneath here. Do it again. I need to understand how this happened. Okay, to see if this for real, for real. I was like, girl. Hold on one second. I'm gonna respond back later. But anyway, she made the car move or whatever, so that kind of saved her. While she did that, I said, girl, I know that girl in the black and white, she about to get pissed off. And of course, she was all upset and in her feelings, because she feel like, she was already there this whole time. And now this girl then came in, took her spot, and now it's obvious that she's gonna be like the favorite, and she's not gonna do anything so that she can't, survive herself. She was like, you up here doing magic tricks and shit, so how did you do it? Girl, come to find out, Miss Mama got a little bit of power. Mama got a little bit of power, and she just didn't realize it. Okay? So I was like, what is this hidden for? What is this hidden for? And I'm in my mind, I'm sitting here like, so she just so happened to realize that she can make objects move with her mind? Or is this a little bit fake of an illusion, or is she really doing this? Okay, so I tucked that in the back of my mind, and I started figuring things out. And then what I was thinking came together towards the end, because just about everything from American Horror Stories and American Horror Story, they're intertwined and coming together. You know what I'm saying? They like intertwine with each other, or they intersect with each other, I should say. So when that happened, the first real task that they had to do, was to put these plates and stuff in order. Like the toy maker, he's all about this fancy shit. Like, bitch, I don't know what a sommelier is. I don't know what this is. I don't know who does this. Okay, we ain't never heard of these people that you're talking about. Just tell us to put the shit in order, of how you set a table. Okay, some of us ain't never come from shit like that. So how we supposed to know? So if they put one piece wrong, they get a point. And if you get how many points? If you get whoever has the most points, they going to be the one that's going to get eliminated. All right. So Kobe, she winds up getting 4 points, I believe, or I think 3 or 4 points. Big girl, I ain't gonna say big girl. The girl in the blue, she wound up getting 3. The girl in the red, not the red, but the black and white, Arulia, she winds up getting a perfect score. Um, oh, and it was another girl that had like a wedding dress on or something like that. She fucked up. She was the one that got everything wrong. She got the most points, so therefore she had got eliminated. Killed her. First of all, disabled her, okay, by shocking her with like a goddamn taser or whatever, and then threw her ass down the fucking well. I said, ain't that about some bitch? So, that went down. Um, Lil Dennis wound up talking to Kobe, and she was trying to butter him up and trying to make it so that I want to be your mommy. I'll do whatever I can to be your mommy, but all you have to do is go convince your dad that none of us should die or anything like that. And they pinky sweared on it and all that stuff. And at one point, the boy tried to go do that, but he was overhearing his daddy talking on the phone about the fact that he's one of those vintage doll makers, and his vintage doll making company is being basically overlooked because you got new companies like Mattel in them and Hasbro coming out making different toys and more fun toys and more popular versions of dolls, okay, instead of the ones that he's doing. Mind you, did you notice when Kobe talked to the little boy, it was like, you're different. You're not in school. You're a little boy who play with dolls. I said, what you trying to say? What you trying to say? Okay, and that's exactly what he said. What you trying to say? All right. Let me see who he came up to be. Dennis Spalding. Hold on, Dennis Spalding. How you spell his name? American Horror Story. But anyway, so he did try to talk to him, but he never really got it out because the daddy basically was trying to convince him and talk to him about how I'm doing all of this to get you a perfect mommy and that's what I need. And, all of that. It was cool. It was cool. And so he just forgot about, talking to them and bringing up the fact of letting the girls go. So that plan went awry because next thing you know, they have a new task to do. And the new task was to and they always got to dress up in the dolls and they always have to do the doll stand, like be stiff as statues and mannequins or whatever. And so when they did that, the new task for them was to iron a shirt, come up with this perfume or scent or whatever to use to iron a shirt, and it has to be folded but not creased. Okay, so they go through it, and of course Arula, she gets it perfect. um Miss Girl with the Blue, she winds up her thing was it was smelling too much like lavender and it was just too much for him, so she got points for that. Kobe, she her thing was too starchy. Okay, it was too starchy, and then when he unfolded the shirt, it was burnt. Okay, she had seared the shirt. You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, he told her to put her hand on that thing, the left hand, and he wound up putting the iron on that hand, and she did not move. But you heard her grunting. I said, "Bitch, wouldn't have been me. You'll have to kill me." Cause ain't no way in hell. Y'all got fucking irons right there, and y'all couldn't just take that bitch and just smear him at girl, he had them real shook. Because I would have took the iron and I would have burnt his ass with it. This is not good times. Okay? Mama, no, I'm not Penny. Don't do me like that. Girl, and so the next girl, the biracial girl, she wound up getting her shit all the way wrong. He said, listen, the smell like a whorehouse. I said, what? Girl, she started to run because she knew it was her time to go. And Mr. Eustace just went on ahead and shot her ass. I said, shit, you ain't even give her time. You ain't even destabilize her. You just went on ahead and killed her. And so at that point, Arula, she was up there just pissed off and trying to comfort Kobe, and I already know that you his favorite and he the one that wants you to be the mama. And Kobe was trying to sit there and tell her, like, listen, you trying to be the one to win, to be the mama or whatever, but you don't know what that entails and what's going to happen. He's not going to let you go either way. So instead of just trying to win this award to be this little boy mommy, let's find a way to get the fuck up out of here. And that's what Kobe wound up talking to the girl that was in the blue about too. And she winds up looking at throughout the window, and she comes up with an idea and she runs. Mind you, Aurelia, she listening to what they're saying, but she's creeping listening, okay? So this bitch is devious as hell. She goes downstairs, she's looking around, she finds this pole, she unhooks it, and it has like a long screw in it, right? And so when that happens, she goes up there and she was about to stab Kobe. She did stab Kobe, or what she thought was Kobe. It was a mannequin dressed in Kobe's clown outfit, you know what I'm saying? And she was like, they was like, what the fuck you doing? I was like, you know what? I'm not trying to stay here. She was like, I'm not trying to die. I'm not sure we're going to die. She said, well, we ain't got to die. We about to get the fuck up out of here tonight, okay? That's what's going to happen. I'm going to get us out of here. We going to walk out the front door, okay? She was like, bitch, this is a 10-mile estate all sides around. So how the hell we going to get up out of here? Don't worry about it. Just leave it up to me. So when it came down for the last task that was going to determine the winner, you know, they had mannequins put in place in the living room where he was supposed to come in and talk to them and give them the instructions or whatever. And so they were in the front, you know, away, coming down the steps, hiding behind a curtain or whatever. And Miss Kobe was using her mind to open up the door. So now we realize Kobe has some type of telekinesis or whatever type of powers, okay? She can move shit with her mind. I said, girl, you just now realizing this. You could have been did this shit, okay? You know, I said, what's going on? Your powers wasn't good yet. What's happening? I said, what in the covenant is happening? You know what I'm saying? And so at this point, they actually get the door open and they go out. Oh, dude, he's talking to them as if, you know, that's really them. And then once he finally realized that it's not, they're already outside, right? And so they get halfway away from the house until, you know, Kobe is like, wait a minute, we can't leave Dennis here, the little boy. We got to take him with us. Arula was like, bitch, no. Fuck that little boy. Now, on the one hand, I was with Aurelia. Okay, like, listen. That boy probably would have turned us in and did us in the first place. I ain't got time for this. Let him go, okay? That ain't my problem. I did not come here for him. And I'm sorry that he's going through whatever he's going through. But his daddy, he got his daddy to take care of him. But, no, I don't want to help him or whatever. And so at this point, the other girl was like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to go too. Kobe said, fuck that, I'm going to go get him. Because she got a little connection with him, you know? And she go to the house and she trying to get him, you know what I'm saying, talking to him or whatever, trying to convince him to come on, let's go. Baby, I'm thinking that the little boy about to go, he winds up shocking her with one of the goddamn tasers. I said, what the fuck? Mind you, Aurelia is up in the woods and she running, and then the other girl running. They tripping over shit. Well, the big girl, she tripped, and you know, she tripped. Aurelia was about to kill her. She had a rock in her hand and she was about to kill her. She said, you slowing me down. I said, bitch, at this point, it's all for self. So you didn't even have to care about whether or not she was behind you or not. So why are you trying to kill her? You just go ahead and run and get the fuck up out of there. Which caused her to get shot in the head by Eustace, okay? The dude's little bodyguard henchman man. I said, you could have been gone. But you came back and want to be evil, too, and try to take this girl out. And now you done got both y'all asses killed. I said, ain't this about a bitch? So when they get Kobe, we see her, she's on the table, and it's literally a doll mold, okay? She's strapped down to the table, and it's a human doll mold, all right? Human-sized doll mold, and he was basically like, the doll that the little boy was carrying around, it had a listening device in it. And so it was picking up on the plans that she was coming up with. And so he said that's how come he decided to change the last task around the plan, that escape plan that she had, and see how successful they were going to be. And he just knew that she was going to be the one who was going to win it, and she was going to be the perfect mommy for his son, right? Baby, he put that mold down on her, and at this point, I really thought that she was about to just melt. Like she was gonna melt and everything. You know what I'm saying? Skin gonna be fucked up. She was gonna die underneath that, because I was just like, I don't see how this is gonna work. But next thing you know, after that, we see them in the house, little Dennis, the daddy, Eustace, and they eating, drinking tea or whatever, because somebody is giving them some tea or whatever. This woman, and you can see the arms or whatever, is plastic. Then you see the face, and the little boy talking about something. I mean, it's cool or whatever, but I wish she could speak more. And he was like, yeah, I mean, just give her a little bit more time because, you know, it's only been a week. Baby, we look at it, and it's a human-ass doll, and it's so fucking creepy. And I said, I know that ain't Kobe. And he said, Kobe, you're doing good. I said, oh, my goodness. So, at this point, you know, all of a sudden, somebody comes into the house, and Eustace, these two women come in the house with these black capes on. And then Eustace, he was about to shoot him, and then they said, he can't move. And so old boy got up, and he was like, bitch, you can't move either. And she was like, listen, girl, she cracked them. She cracked old girl, and everything just started breaking off. The little outside mold of the doll that she was in started breaking off. And I was just like, well, how the fuck is it that y'all turned her into a doll, and then when she break the shell, is her regular body. Nothing like damaged on her body or whatever. It just looked like they just put a shell on top of her, and she was perfectly fine, hair in perfect condition and everything. I was like, what? That part didn't make sense to me, but okay. Because I would have thought she probably, the stuff would have been burnt onto her, like embedded onto her. But I guess it wasn't. And so when they did that, I said, well, if that's the case, all she had to do was trip and fall and break the goddamn thing. All right. And they was like, the two ladies, they said, listen, girl, your powers was a little weak. That's why we couldn't detect them. But you come with us, we can make them bitches strong or whatever, because you one of us. I said, oh, shit, come on, Coven. Come on, Coven. And then, she was like, but I got to get Dennis. I said, you still gonna take that little boy? Still, come, don't leave me alone. Take me with you. I said, no, leave your little ass here, because you was the reason why I got into this problem, So she winds up taking him, and they wind up going down to New Orleans to the goddamn school for the Coven witches, okay? And they burnt the motherfuckers, burnt that whole house down, okay? And so that's when she was like, you'll be good here, to little Dennis. And she was like, you got to go by another name. What's your middle name? And that's when she was like, he said Spalding. And so then that's when, oh my God, what is her name? She goes up there and she was letting him go into the school. And that's when you see the little red-haired girl come out. And I was like, oh my God, look at little Myrtle. I said, wow, Myrtle was this young in 1961? And I was like, wow, 1961 is really far away. That was so far away in the past. I said, oh, the nostalgia. Baby, Myrtle will always be forever in my heart when she was getting burnt down and she said, Balenciaga. That shit was forever funny. But who the fuck is Dennis? Dennis O'Hara. He played in Murder House. So that's who he grew up to be. But anyway, so who is she? If Kobe, who Kobe? I don't feel like looking up and trying to get things together. But y'all put the connections that I didn't get right off the bat. Who is Kobe? Or do she play any other part up in the other portions of American Horror Story? It was a cute episode. Not too much. Not scary. Decent. Y'all tell me how y'all feel. I'll see y'all later. Peace.